What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Bill, and in today's video Matt has returned. He's had his Badlands here a couple of times and we are going to lift it some more. We're not touching the suspension. We are doing a 3-inch body lift, 42 1/4 in the back and 42 1/2 up front right now. Since we have wires going to the lights and everything, I want to actually take the bumpers off first. That way we're not stretching anything. We'll take the bumpers off first. We will go ahead and lift it and then put everything back together. With the body mounts, here's one of the bolts. We've already taken this one out before when we did this kit, but still it's a good idea. You don't want to just throw an impact on there and back it off, because where the nut on the other side is attached to aluminum, and if that gets bound up and you're using an impact, it could just completely rip that aluminum, and then you're not ever getting that out without a whole lot of work. So I'd recommend just backing these out by hand. And if they start to bind a lot, if you start to get a lot of force, actually go back and tighten it a little bit and then back it back out again. This one, like I said, we've had this one out before, so I don't imagine it to cause any trouble, but still. The next one is going to be right here, and it's kind of right underneath your rear view mirror there. Next one is back. Well, we'll get to the next one when we get there, but same thing. Also of note, the front one was an 18. The rear 3 are 15 millimeter. That one's coming out nice and easy. Alright, now the next one is back here, right in front of the rear tire. And same thing. Just carefully loosen it. The last one is right here, right along the back side and underneath, which I don't know if you can see what I'm pointing at here, but it's just right there. There we go, right there. And just like the other ones, back it off carefully. If it starts binding, tighten it, and then back it off. Alright, now we'll try lifting the body and see how that works.
Move a little bit when, and there it goes. Oh shit, this is gonna be tall.
So that's what a half lifted Bronco looks like. Now this is lifted up just enough that this rear puck fits in there. Let's see if any of these other ones do, but that's a pretty big hey, at least now we can get to this other clip hopefully too for the rear. But yeah, that's got a bit of a lean to it. So yeah, we'll get the hardware and start tightening that up, or getting the bolts in there as we can. And yeah, that's
even reach.
So there may be a follow-up video to this one with some power steps in the future. I would imagine. But yeah, here's where we had to remove that ground wire, because we moved that, everything else stays in place. So yeah, let's try to get these pucks in there and we'll continue on. So for the hardware, there's two that are for the front, because that had the 18mm bolt, and then the others for the rear. So I'll grab 3 of those and 1 of these, put a little blue Loctite on there and get them started. Now this one back here, plenty of room. Well, not plenty, it's that's pretty much the height that it is. We got maybe a centimeter on top. So on this one, on the driver's side, there's this plastic case covering this wire loom that goes on the outside, and that's what this loom and tape is for, is to actually take this off, take the plastic off, put the loom around, tape it up, and actually put it behind the puck. That way it's back behind and protect it and not out along this outside edge. There we go. And so we're getting rid of this plastic. And then just going to put this loom right around it. So this front one didn't want to lift up as high because the front suspension was lifting up, so we had to get yet another piece of wood, make this as shady as possible, but it's in there, and that's enough. Yeah. Well, they're not tightened down, but this is how high it sits on one side. Yeah, so we got to do the same thing on this side, take those 6 bolts off. There is no wire loom on this side like there is on the driver's side, and there's no ground wire to take off. So there may be something we need to do with the airbox hose coming in.
I'd say keep an eye on it while
Yeah,
it's
we'll lift up a little
anything,
and see if anything
it's in a bind.
starts binding or not. But yeah, meanwhile, go ahead, take these bolts off this side. We'll jack this side up, and we'll keep an eye on this as we're jacking it up, see if there's anything that looks amiss or looks like it's binding at all.
Oh, I think I see where they're coming from.
You didn't. Do you know if they had a torque spec that they gave?
That's exactly what I was just thinking about.
I don't recall.
I
that.
don't think they did.
3 inches of suspension lift, and 3 inches of body lift. Now you can see where this used to sit right there. So I'm kind of stretching those out a little bit. But yeah, we got to go through, tighten all the bolts down, but they're all in there. Down the back you can kind of see the gap there. I don't know.
Straight through.
Yeah. But that's something we need to develop. Well, it makes it nice and easy to get to the strut springs now.
Yeah.
It'll be even easier. Yeah, we gotta lift the rear bumper up. We have the relocation brackets. We don't have instructions on them, so we'll try to figure that out. But yeah, that is it definitely did the job. It lifted it. This thing is huge. Oh, you want to try climbing in there?
Oh, jeez.
Is it it's not too bad.
It can be done.
Does it feel bigger in there?
Oh, damn. Yeah, touch.
All right, well, we'll get this buttoned up and figure out these relocation brackets and show you how we get those on there. But right now I'm just going to go through, tighten all the bolts down, check the torques. I guess we'll go, we didn't see any torques in their instructions. We'll just go with the factory torque specs on those and go from there. All right, so for torque specs, we could not find anything official. We did have the JKS kit instructions that said 59 foot-pounds for the front ones. So that's just what we went with for all of them all the way around, is 59 foot-pounds. Got them snugged down. Now, we need to do this ground extension. So where the ground came off, this bolt and nut, both are 14 millimeter, just going to go in there. And then the original nut hardware will go back through there and connect that. So we'll get that done. This seems like it is quite a bit extra for the amount that it's moving, but I guess it's better to have too much than not enough. On the order page, it mentioned something about having to turn the airbox inlet tube 45 degrees, and we weren't sure what it meant, but it's talking about this, because this part of the airbox stayed with the body. The engine, however, stayed with the frame and is sitting down lower now in this cavity. So this kind of kinked this hose. They had to loosen this bolt here and just kind of turn it down to smooth out that transition, and that looks fine. Now his ARB compressor is kind of leaning in because same problem. The top side is connected to the body. However, there's an extension that goes down that is connected to the frame. So now that's pushed down. I don't know if there's an extension we can make, or we can make something for that, but or if it's okay as is, but it just looks bent down and end a little bit the way it's sitting now. But now the lift's done. Hey guys, so that video kind of ends right there. We continued to work for a little while. We were working on doing the bumper relocations, but it turns out we did not have all the parts that we needed to do that. There was a couple other brackets that were supposed to be sent that did not get sent, and we also weren't quite sure about the active cruise control relocation because we didn't have instructions on that or the bumper relocations or anything. So we worked for a while, realized we didn't have all the brackets, and then just went ahead and put everything back together. So here you see Matt sent a good picture of this, and here you could see where there's a pretty big gap between the bumper and the bottom. That's the 3 inches that the body has been lifted off of the frame and the bumper. So that was a big, huge gap there, and similar on the back where you just have a big 3-inch gap where those used to line up. So that is going to wrap up this video where we did do the lift itself. The process for the lift is super simple. Just be careful when you're backing off those bolts, because if you do strip out one of the nuts where they're welded in, it's going to be a bad day. Just be cautious that if you don't move the bumpers, you are going to have this big gap here on the front and the back in those areas. So obviously Matt did not want to run that, keep that as spaces, so he did order the relocation brackets. So you can also see in this picture he does have the side steps on there as well, which will be in an upcoming video where we did the install on that. And I also have a video where we did the relocation, so stay tuned for those. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that thumbs up button. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.